Good evening, everybody. My name is Liz Friedley, and I cannot emphasize enough congrats on being accepted. You are awesome students and really stood out in the application process. Being accepted to Mines is nothing short of a huge accomplishment. So give yourself a round of applause, maybe a pat on the back. Now, we understand you might have heard good news from other universities since you are stellar students, but we are pumped you're still here considering Mines as your university of choice. We will be covering a few things today in this What's Next Accepted webinar. We will be reaffirming your decision to apply to Mines by talking about our community, what makes Mines special, and talk about next steps for getting prepared for this fall. As the presentation concludes, we'll open it up to a Q&A, but as a reminder, you have a chat feature to ask questions to be answered by our incredible admissions staff on the back end. We're going to get started off with a quick video of one of our longest standing traditions, and without giving away too much, let's just say it involves a 10-pound rock, a hard hat, and all incoming students. Let's take a look.
I'm expecting it to be light, this is easy. I can walk up a hill. I can withstand some water, holding a rock, it's whatever. It's easy. Yeah, it's a lot harder with a 10-pound rock.
Today we just did the M climb and got whitewashed, as you can see. Took the hike up, it was a super good time.
Yep, it is a Mines tradition where you hike up to the M on the mountain, place a 10-pound rock with the others where you can go back when you graduate and grab one, take a piece of Mines with you.
My rock is from my house in Houston, Texas. It's actually from my front yard, a little garden area. So there's a little hole there where part of me is now up there. So
yeah, I was not expecting the spray paint. That was fun. I weighed my rock. It was well over.
At the beginning, there was a pool at one of the frats and we jumped in. And so it's been fun seeing all the clubs and stuff on the side too, like getting in on it. I'm meeting new people while we're walking and getting pumped with the music.
So much fun. I got soaked on the climb up and I just got soaked in whitewash, so.
I'm glad that this is a tradition I was able to participate in, and it's a good representation for when you're getting near the end, persevere, push through, and get to the end, get to the finish line.
This is the best time ever, and I feel like I found my people. I love it here.
We hope you got a good sense of some of the great traditions here at Mines. And as you will all be partaking in the M Climb tradition, a homework item right now, aside from all of the next steps to complete for this fall, is to find your rock, right? Find that rock that has a lot of meaning to you, whether it's a rock in your parents' front yard, a rock from your favorite campsite, or a nearby creek that you and your friends love to hang out at during the summertime. Now, once you find that rock, you'll be bringing it to Golden, Colorado. And speaking of Golden, Colorado, in the area that surrounds Mine campus, you can expect a small college mountain town experience with big city opportunities. Aside from the collection of amazing restaurants and coffee shops that are only about a 5 to 8 minute walk downtown from Mines campus, Mines brings in the outdoor enthusiasts where you can find opportunities like skiing, snowboarding, hiking, mountain biking, and so much more, being right at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. In addition, we're only about 25 minutes west of downtown Denver. So if you want to catch a Rockies game or go to some amazing museums for a large metro city experience, you're more than welcome to get the best of both worlds. And lastly, our claim to fame in this area is the amazing Red Rocks Amphitheater, where you can catch a concert, participate in exercise programs, or see a movie over the summer. And something we're really excited to announce is that this year we're launching a brand new shuttle to take Mines students to and from Red Rocks directly. Now, when talking about Mines specifically, we identify ourselves as a mid-sized university that has just over 8,000 students. Of the 8,000 students, about 6,200 are undergraduate students, but we typically welcome about 1,600 students each fall. Now, something that I like to point out on this page is that about 97% of our classes are taught by faculty members who are not only terminal degree holders, meaning that they've earned the highest degree that they can within their respective field, but they also have incredible industry experience that they're bringing back to the Mines campus to share with you all. Now, today's presentation was built off the view books that you would typically pick up if you were here on campus, if you came for a campus tour or for an event. But since we're online, you can find a copy at mines.edu/viewbook if you'd like to follow along today. Now, to start the conversation off with next steps, there are two screenshots on this page of two portals that you should already be familiar with. On the left side, we have the Mines applicant portal that you should have received access to the minute that you applied to Mines or the minute you submitted an application with us. This is where you'll find your OR-Digger Next Steps checklist to get you prepared for school this fall. This is also where you'll find the ability to commit to Mines by submitting your enrollment decision form and your enrollment deposit by May 1st, which is National College Decision Day. On the right-hand side, you see a screenshot of the My Mines portal that must be activated first with the Okta email. You should have received the Okta email about 45 hours after your acceptance to Mines, but please note that the link expires about 7 days after receiving it, so you'll want to set it up right away. Once this has been activated, please allow about 24 hours to apply to the general scholarship application, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But if you're needing the instructions for setting up your My Mines portal, feel free to scan the QR code on this page. At the very bottom of that page, I will also include the contact information for the Mines IT help desk if you need over-the-phone assistance with logging in to set up your My Mines portal. Now, something that's unique about Mines is that our registrar's office is actually creating your first semester class schedule for you that you'll receive in August. But before they can create this, you'll want to send in your AP exams, IB exam scores, and or concurrent enrollment or dual enrollment through an official transcript to aid in placing you in the appropriate courses. Now, the new Student and Transition Service Office, or NEST for short, is your go-to resource for transitioning to the collegiate setting. They will be sending you your blaster book that will contain excellent resources at Mines, and they'll also be hosting a summer series of welcome webinars from June to August. Now, this is the office that also puts on Hell of a Welcome Week, which is when you'll be meeting with your academic advisor to finalize your class schedule. Now, as you're making your college decision, we understand that cost is a huge part of the conversation. So what is your approximate total cost of attendance? What is your return of investment? And what scholarship opportunities are available to you? Now, on this slide, you'll see two types of costs: direct and indirect. Direct costs will go directly to the institution, Mines, and indirect costs are the approximate numbers that our financial aid office threw in here that will be dependent on the student. So on this slide, the direct costs would be tuition, room and board, and fees, and the indirect costs would be books and supplies and personal expenses. So if you're making this big investment, what is your return of investment? Well, something we always like to boast about is that Mines has the #1 return of investment in the entire state of Colorado, meaning that our students start at the highest earning salary year one after graduation, and that is typically about $81,000 per year. So our students are doing awesome. Now, the last thing I want to point out on this slide, specifically speaking to my in-state Colorado residents, is that this estimated total cost of attendance is showing after the Colorado Opportunity Fund. And the Colorado Opportunity Fund is a state-funded program that provides a stipend to in-state undergraduate students to reduce their tuition costs. So to see if you qualify, you do need to create a COF account apply, and authorize the institution, aka Mines, to use the funds on your behalf. All right. Now, the free application for federal student aid has been open since October, and just know that we do have a priority deadline for March 1st, very similar to every other scholarship opportunity when we're talking about the general scholarship application. That is also a priority application deadline of March 1st. All right, so what are the types of financial aid that we offer here at Mines? Well, the first thing to note is that about 93% of our incoming students receive some type of financial assistance. So that typically starts with merit-based scholarships. So when you were accepted to Mines, you likely received a merit-based scholarship at the same time. Just know that merit-based scholarship is renewable for all 4 years as long as you maintain a 2.5 GPA while in college or remain in good academic standing with the university. Now, we'll talk about the general scholarship application in just a minute. So when talking about external scholarships, the Mines Financial Aid website has some useful links, tips, and tricks to exploring external scholarships, and you can find that on the finaid.mines.edu website. Yes, there are opportunities for student employment for you to work on campus at either Starbucks, working as a tour guide in the admissions office, the rec center, the library, list kind of goes on and on. But just know we typically will host a job fair at the very beginning of the semester to get you connected with some type of student employment opportunities. Now, with grants and loans, just know that this is typically in the conversation with federal student aid, in which grants do not need to be repaid, however, loans do. And again, as a reminder, make sure to send in your FAFSA application as soon as possible to meet the March 1st deadline. Now, if you or your folks want more information on payment plans, you can go to your My Mines portal to see the available options in Trailhead. But again, that My Mines portal needs to be activated with the Okta email. All right, so when we're talking about the general scholarship application, just know it's kind of a one-stop shop to apply for all other scholarships that accepted Mines students are eligible to apply for. So you do not need to commit to Mines in order to apply for these additional scholarships. But these scholarships typically range from a few $1,000s to full tuition and fees. And to access the GSA, we'll call it GSA for short, portal, you have to log into your My Mines account. The priority deadline is similar to the FAFSA, right, March 1st. But just know if you're applying by March 1st, you will know by mid-April if you've been awarded one of these general scholarship application scholarships. And this list is some of the special scholarships that have communities associated with it that support leadership, service, and innovation through the Pascal Center. These communities are great for resumes, offering financial assistance, and building community first thing in college. Just know we already offered one webinar to go over these scholarships in detail in January, but we do have another offering on February 18th that you can sign up for at the tour.mines.edu page. Now to talk about the more fun things in college, some important questions to ask yourself is, who do I want to be in college? What do I want to be involved in while here at Mines? And here are some avenues to make connections and feel more integrated to the Mines campus. Very similar to other colleges, we offer clubs, organizations, professional societies, and all 3 levels of athletics. We've got our D2 teams, clubs, and intramural sports. And one professional society that I always like to plug is the Society of Women Engineers chapter, as we host the largest chapter in the entire United States. Pretty cool stuff. Now, there are a couple special programs that you can apply for that Mines has to offer. We have 2-year student two first-year student honors programs that you can apply for, Thorson and Grandy. Honors programs here at Mines aren't meant to be harder, but to sprinkle in a little bit of humanities into your STEM curriculum. Thorson deals with the literature, arts, and humanities, while Grandy is all focused on leadership development. Now, the second special opportunity you might want to apply for is the first year study abroad experience. At Mines, we are super pro study abroad. The program has 30 first-year students in a cohort setting that travels to Antibes, France on the French Riviera. And we'll also have a cohort of 30 students to send in the spring semester. So if going your first semester during your freshman year of college is a bit overwhelming, just know we do offer that spring semester as well. So if you want to apply or find out more information about either special opportunity, you can go to the tour.mines.edu page to sign up for the upcoming webinars for each opportunity. Now, something that Mines does really well is going above and beyond to get students integrated into the campus from the very beginning with these first year traditions. We already talked about the M Climb, but now let's talk about the mandatory and famous Ore Digger Camp that you will get to participate in during Hell of a Welcome Week. Ore Digger Camp is one of our first year traditions where students will be put in charter buses and taken to Estes Park, which is just outside of Rocky Mountain National Park, where students are going to participate in STEM activities. They'll get to meet the president of Mines and really just connect with each other and be welcomed into the beautiful scenery of Colorado before they begin at Mines. It's one of our other notable first year experiences as they're coming in as an accepted student. Now, a big question that I get from students and families is what type of supports are there on campus aside from the resources for transitioning onto campus? Well, we have the Career Center, which is a major powerhouse department here at Mines, who we'll talk about in a little bit. Then we have the Health Center, which includes supports like mental health counseling, dental, if you need to see the doctor, if you get sick, all sorts of supports. But we also have free tutoring for every single course offered here at Mines. And we also have the Writing Center if you're needing a little direction for essays or lab. All right, so if you're wanting to stay active in college but can't commit to the D2 schedule or club sport life, just know we have an awesome rec center that hosts several workout courses, clinics, competitions. And in addition to that, if you can't make time or commit to studying abroad, we actually have student trips that you can join that falls under the campus recreation office. The most well-known trip is a skiing trip to Switzerland that typically happens over the winter break. But we've got the esports lab on campus as well. And if you're bringing a bike to campus, you can also get that fixed up in our bike shop free of charge as an accepted Mines student. Now, for living on campus, just know it is a 2-year residential living experience, meaning that you will be required to live on campus for your first 2 years. So your choices as an incoming freshman are traditional halls and suite style halls. As a sophomore, you'll have apartment style dedicated communities. And aside from all that, if you're wanting to find community within your residence halls, just know that we do offer signature learning communities to connect with peers who share your interests or passions. Now, important timelines are posted on the right-hand side of the page. So what to know right now as an accepted student is that you must first commit to Mines before you can apply for housing. When the application becomes available on April 1st. You'll also be prompted to fill out a roommate profile that asks various preferences on your lifestyle. So, are you a super tidy student? Are you a not so tidy student? Do you like to study late at night? Do you like to study early in the morning? And from that, we'll try to match you up with students who have a high percentage of likeliness and relatability so that finding your roommate is a breeze during phase two, which happens between May 19th and June 10th. Now, as we come down to phase three, this is when you are going to be selecting your rooms. So just know you have a lot of time before you're going to be selecting your room. And something we also like to say is that don't commit to Mines just for housing. Commit to Mines knowing that Mines is your university of choice. The other reason for that is we have guaranteed housing for every student. So no matter when you commit to Mines, there will always be a spot on campus for you. Now, when you're living on campus, you're also required to have a meal plan. Mines wanted to make sure that the transition to college was as easy as possible so that you don't have to worry about cooking on your own while you adjust to your new life. So some options that we have here on campus is the Mines Market, which is our main dining hall. It's all you care to eat facility, but we also have familiar favorites such as Starbucks, Qdoba, a sushi place. But just know there are options for everyone. If you have dietary restrictions, there are options for you as well. And if you need to speak with the meal planning office, you can speak with a registered dietitian who works here on campus that'll also work with students who have dietary restrictions. Now, on the topic of eating and freshman 15, just know that it doesn't exist at Mines because Mines in the city of Golden is a very walk-friendly, bike-friendly city. You can get around very easily with the Or Cart shuttle, which is free for all Mines students to connect to downtown. You can also take the RTD system, which you get a free pass as a Mines student. And this is the main transit system in the Denver metro city area. So this will take you all the way to Denver International Airport to fly home for my out-of-state students. But you can also take it to downtown to check out the awesome collection of art and history museums that downtown Denver also offers. Now, as a pivot to campus safety, just know that our number one priority is your safety here at Mines. With that, we have supports in place, such as the Mines Police Department that runs 24/7, the blue light system that we've adopted, just like similar to other colleges and universities. And we even have emergency alerts that will communicate via text, phone call, and email. And if we have a snow day, you will also receive updates through this system. So something to think about as you are enrolling with Mines. Now, when choosing a major and or minor, just know we have a comprehensive list that you can review in the viewbook or online. But as an incoming freshman, you have 2 years to declare a major, so you can make the most informed decision for your academic career. Something that also takes the stress off is that you have direct admission into every single program that we offer, no questions asked. This makes changing your major as easy as filling out a form online that takes 5 minutes to complete. Now, if you're a student who is driven and wants to continue their education for an advanced degree, just know Mines also offers a 4+1 combined program. There's no application fee, but students need to complete at least 75 college credit hours before they can apply for this program. So if you want more information, you can scan the QR code on this page or speak with an academic advisor during Hell of a Welcome Week, during orientation, when you're completing and finalizing your fall semester classes. Right. So we've already talked about how the Career Center is one of the powerhouses here on campus, and they have data to prove it. One of, if not the biggest events of the year is Career Fair Days, which are typically 2 days in the fall and 2 days in the springtime. And we have over 1,600 recruiters coming onto our campus to offer some type of employment opportunity who are usually Mines alumni. Then we have students graduating each year. So let that sink in. Not only that, but we have over 3,000 jobs and internships posted to our online student LinkedIn equivalent called DiggerNet, which you can access even after graduating Mines. So as a Mines alumni, you even have this resource available. All right. So this is a list of our top industry partners based on who has the most presence for hiring and engagement on our campus. So I'll give you a couple more seconds to review the list here. All right. Perfect. Now, to kind of wrap everything together about what stands out about Mines is that Mines truly is that hands-on university experience. So if you're that student who wants to roll up their sleeves, be hands-on, and collaborate with other students, Mines is the university for you, in which we have research opportunities since we're an R1 research institution. We host one of the largest maker spaces in the entire United States. And we have various opportunities to give you that experiential learning or technical work experience before you even graduate. All right, so we're going to close out this presentation with one last video that talks about the hands-on learning opportunities you can expect here at Mines.
The hands-on learning that we do at Mines is necessary to the real world because everything in the real world, you can apply all the equations and everything possible, but when you actually build it, you're going to have problems and things are going to come up that you did not account for. So being able to do things hands-on helps you expand your knowledge and think about things in a different way that you wouldn't originally think of rather than just looking at a sheet of paper.
Mines is a very project-heavy university. You get a lot of experience working on different projects for all sorts of different classes, and you can work on it alone, you can work on it with a group, with your TAs, with your professors, and you're really able to learn a lot from various different people.
I think working with materials on a hands-on level was huge for me. I think oftentimes the biggest things that I've heard about engineers is that they might not understand the constructability of something while the concept works mathematically and theoretically. It might be really difficult to build, and so being able to understand like the material and the physical side of things I think was huge for me as an engineer.
Alrighty. Well, as a reminder, these are your next steps to be looking for located in your Mines applicant portal. Committing to Mines is going to be step one. And remember to complete this by National College Decision Day, which is May 1st. Activating your Mines account using the Okta email. Completing the general scholarship application by March 1st, the priority deadline. Completing special applications, applying for housing, which opens April 1st, and then sending off your final transcripts and official scores. I'm going to toss it back to Antoinette to open it up to Q&A. Thank you so much.
Righty, thank you so much, Liz. We received a lot of great questions throughout the webinar, so we're just going to dive right in. If students want to visit campus, can you describe the opportunities that we offer here at Mines?
Awesome. Great question. And thanks, Antoinette. Yes, we have all sorts of opportunities for you. You can either come for a daily campus visit, or we even have specialized events. I know I plugged mine that I oversee, which is Power Supporting Women in STEM at Mines. We also have a summer program called Summit. So all that information for accepted students can be found on the tour.mines.edu page. And if, let's say, you can't make it to campus, just know we also have opportunities for a virtual tour as well.
Great, thanks. Kind of going on that note, how can students connect with the admissions office or their counselors if they have any questions?
Great question. Yes. So I know we keep bringing up the Mines applicant portal, but it really is essential in preparing you for school this fall. your direct admissions counselor contact information is actually located within your Mines applicant portal and will stay there all the way up until you start here at Mines. Now, if you need further questions answered, you can always email us at admissions@mines.edu to get connected.
Great, thanks. What do students need to complete the general scholarship application? And can you elaborate
Great
on that a little
question.
bit more?
Yes. So when you are logging into the general scholarship application, just know that there is an initial application that you need to complete first before you can start applying for additional scholarships. So within that initial application, a lot of it might be redundant information that you included within your application, right? Extracurriculars, maybe volunteer work, all the cool things that you're involved in that you want to boast about, you'll want to also include within that initial general scholarship application. And from there, the general scholarship application will match you up with all of the scholarships that you're eligible to apply for at that time.
Thank you. Some students were asking about on-campus jobs. Can you elaborate a little bit more about those opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that we listed a couple of them, but to bring it back into the conversation, yes, you do have different opportunities on campus for work. You could work as a student ambassador in the admissions office, giving tours when you get to Mines. You could work in the departments, maybe answering phone calls and emails of other prospective students that want more information about that department. You could work at Starbucks. You could work at the campus bookstore. There are lots and lots of opportunities for student employment here at Mines.
Thanks. So if a student comes in with an intended major, can they change it?
Ooh, really good question. Yes. If you come in, let's say, as a quantitative bioscience and engineering major, and you take a course and you have this epiphany and you're like, oh my gosh, I now need to be an electrical engineer. It's super duper easy to change your major. It only takes about 5 minutes to complete a form online that you can speak with your academic advisor about to get you switched into that new major. But as a reminder, you have 2 years to declare your major. So even if you are coming in as exploratory, you have quite a bit of time to make that informed decision for the major that speaks to you.
Great. Can you explain how and when incoming first year students will receive their first semester schedules and how do they get placed into the appropriate classes?
Absolutely. So, as a reminder, Hell of a Welcome Week is your orientation experience. This is going to be happening in August. So, just know you won't have a finalized class schedule until you attend Hell of a Welcome Week once you meet with your academic advisor. So before you meet with your academic advisor at Hell of a Welcome Week, you do need to send in your official high school transcript. You do need to send in any college transcripts if you took any dual or concurrent enrollment courses while in high school, any AP exams or IB exams. That way we have the full picture of information to consider to place you in the appropriate courses before Hell of a Welcome Week.
Great, thank you. And then we got a couple questions that were specific to departments and majors. What is the best way for these students to reach out to these specific departments?
Absolutely. Great question. The best people to speak to are the professors, are the departments themselves. So you can go onto minds.edu website, look for your preferred program. For example, if you want to go for mechanical engineering, you can find their department. And in the upper right-hand corner, there will be a section that says contact, and will provide you with a phone number and an email for you to get connected with their department directly to answer the questions that you have about that specific program.
Great, thanks. And just kind of wrapping up the evening, if students wanted to attend additional webinars, how would they do so?
Our beautiful tour.minds.edu website. Once you log on there, you'll click the Accepted Students tab, and from there you can register for all of the webinars that are still open for registration.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Liz. Going off of that a little bit, we do record all of our webinars and we do post it to our Colorado School of Mines admissions YouTube page. So if you missed any one of those or want to go back on that information, you can do so at our YouTube page. But thank you so much, Liz, and thank you everybody for joining us. As a reminder, like Liz said, you can sign up for these additional webinars at tour.minds.edu, and we hope to see you all soon. And please stay in touch, call or email us with any questions along the way. Thanks so much. Take care. Good night.